Here we have in San Pedro, California, the highway is being drowned in the ocean. Out of Puerto Rico to there is a part of the highway that leads to the famous fort, Felipe and Moro, um, kind of collapse into the sea, onto the beach, more or less. So I think that it's time for us to embark on a very ambitious reinventing or creating our pristine infrastructure. Now our bridges, our roads need all replacing. In this new strategy of replacing them, we could also put in new sewer lines, new water mains, and run all electricity on the ground. And so governments are strapped, city, county, state, and federal. They're so engrossed in debt that it's very difficult for them to consider a $5 to $10 trillion project. I have a plan that I think that we could get $5 trillion by probably 40 years, but we could start constructing the roads immediately, probably by January 1. I would like to present this information so that we could get the monies together and start the project, because what will happen is that this is going to be something like $100 trillion deal, because when we spend five and the multiply effect steps in, that is the money going to be spent so many times around that it probably could add up to about 100 trillion within 40 years, 2.5 trillion a year. Taxing that would help to come back and take care of the debt. People working again, the cities and the counties and the states and the feds going to find that they're going to receive enough revenue now to take care of things. In fact, foreclosure might even end because the individuals now will start earning some money and they could take care of their mortgages and their rents. So less abandoned property, more property tax, schools funded, city governments funded. This plan basically will, though it's a kind of a bridge, highway, water mains, sewer mains, and electricity underground project. When this money starts to spend, and these individuals, to make it a 20 times multiply effect, they go and they purchase from the grocery store, from the bars, from the restaurants, from the clothing stores, shoe stores, the whole 9 yards. Then each one of these industries is going to start seeing a research incentive. So each is going to start employing. We're going to have to modify it, because now if we go too rapid and end up having more work than employees, then you start having higher costs, etc. I've approached several people to work on this with me. I've talked to a professor at the University of Puerto Rico, and he wants to understand. I mean, he's a labor expert, and I'm saying, like, you deal with your labor part, I'll deal with this part. But he wants to know more and more of my part, and then it's kind of like, why is he wanting to do that? Then I met some young people, one of the Occupy groups, and I'm saying, like, this is something that could work, and they have some ideas like this and that. They know why we're in this mess today, and it's like folks are going to take this thing from me. But I do hope that I'll be able to still put some input into this, because I have the vision, and I think I know how we're going to go around this. Now, of course, we have many vehicles in the country, and perhaps if each owner were to say give us something small every month, then we're going to raise that money. This should be a bipartisan plan, not Republican or Democrat. This is our plan. This is citizens deciding that we will help out ourselves and create jobs for ourselves. And so I'm letting you know that I came to Puerto Rico not only to go to law school and get Spanish done, but I would like to see the roads be fixed. I mean, the highways, though impressive, were built for lighter traffic, not this type of traffic we have today. Sometimes there are trucks on the highway that weigh many more times more than what the maximum when the highways were envisioned, over 50 years ago. And so it's a very sophisticated plan where I have some ideas on how to avoid, more collapse of bridges. But I would like to see the bridge across the Hudson Bay in New York, those bridges to replace first thing, and that San Francisco bridge replaced. No, I think that people are thinking that this should be a private non-profit organization running this, but I think we have to work with the government. Even though it's going to be our initiative, the government has the resources and experience and expertise. I mean, we have the Federal Department of Transportation, which I think is best suited to know the needs and to be able to determine where we ought to spend the money and so forth. I think though that $5 trillion, $5 to $7 trillion is big money for some people. In my view, that's just I can handle numbers like that, but I don't want to put my hand on none of the money. I don't want a job in this affair. I just want to see the thing done, and Europe and the Middle East could pattern a strategy similar to this, and then their economies too could start taking up, and then we have another 40 years of growth. I recall when the change from the gold standard to the fiat dollar, we have up to now from the 80s or 70s, and so we could have another set of years of growth. I'm proposing this plan, and I would like to get into more details and go forward with it, but we will see how things go. This plan is going to put America back to work.